What if everything you think you hate about sales, the pressure, feeling pushy, the fear of rejection, what if it's all based on a big misunderstanding? Well, today we're jumping into a talk from Larry Long Jr. that might just flip your whole perspective. We're going to look at sales not as some kind of necessary evil, but as a transfer of pure energy. Let's just start with this quote from Kira Trillo because, wow, doesn't that just hit home? That hate-hate relationship. It's that knot in your stomach, that little voice in your head that says, I'm being so pushy right now. That one feeling can stop you dead in your tracks. But what if that feeling is just wrong? So if any of that just made you nod your head, you're in exactly the right place. Because we're about to take that whole negative idea of sales and turn it completely upside down. Seriously, by the end of this, you won't just have a new strategy, you might actually have a whole new relationship with selling. Okay, first things first, we need to do a little mental surgery. We're going to take out that old toxic idea of the pushy salesperson and replace it with something way more powerful and frankly, way more human. This is it. This is the big idea. Number 1, sales is a transfer of your energy, your belief, your enthusiasm. And number 2, you're not a salesperson, you're a matchmaker. Your job isn't to shove a product down someone's throat, it's to find a person with a problem and introduce them to the perfect solution. It's a service, it's a connection. And Henry Ford just nailed it, didn't he? It all comes down to your belief. If you walk into a call thinking, I'm about to bother this person, guess what? Your energy will be weird and you're going to bother them. But if you walk in thinking, I'm a matchmaker and I think I can really help, the entire conversation changes. You're not selling anymore, you're serving. Okay, so you've got the matchmaker mindset. Awesome. But a mindset without action is just a nice thought. So now let's talk about the fuel that actually makes this whole thing work. Let's talk about energy. So this is a real gut check moment. You have to ask yourself, where do you fall on this scale? Are you just interested in success? Doing things when it's easy? Are you committed, willing to do the hard stuff? Or are you obsessed? Because that's where the magic happens. That's when you start doing the things that other people just aren't willing to do. And here is where it gets real. It's so easy to listen to all these ideas and nod along and think, yeah, that makes sense. But knowing what to do and actually doing it are two totally different universes. That gap between knowing and doing, that's where most great intentions go to die.
Larry's mom was a smart lady. You can talk all day about being committed or obsessed, but your calendar tells the real story. Your actions are the only proof. So, what story are your actions telling today? Are they screaming commitment, or are they kind of whispering, maybe tomorrow? All right, mindset is in place, you're ready for action. Now let's connect the dots and turn all this good energy into actual results. And you know what? It really comes down to one key thing.
And that thing is the KLT factor. Know, like, and trust. You could have the greatest thing in the world, but if people don't know who you are, if they don't kind of like you, and if they don't trust you, you're basically invisible. Every single thing you do should be a deposit into that KLT bank account. I love this. It's so simple, but it's so incredibly true. Look at those two words, contacts and contracts. The only thing separating them is the letter R. And that R, it stands for relationships. Without that genuine connection, all your contacts are just names on a list. So you might be thinking, okay, how do I build these relationships? Here's a dead simple strategy you can start today. The 3-minute challenge. That's it, 3 minutes a day. You find one person you haven't talked to in a while and you just reach out. Not with a sales pitch, just a little hey, thinking of you, or a funny gif, or a shared memory. It's about a surprise and delight moment. And this is exactly why that little 3-minute challenge is so powerful. Maya Angelou captured this perfectly. People might not remember the exact words you used, but they will never, ever forget that you took a moment to make them feel seen and remembered. That feeling? That's the foundation of trust. So we get it. Relationships are key. The next question is, where? Well, for Larry Long Jr., the answer is overwhelmingly LinkedIn. I mean, this is the engine that drives 90% of his business. So let's pop the hood and take a look at his playbook. Rule number 1 of the playbook is you gotta break the rules. Everybody else is doing the same old boring stuff. To stand out, you have to be different. So forget that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Your new motto is, if it ain't broke, it's time to break it. And here's the blueprint. It starts with a plan. Who are you actually trying to help? Then look at your profile. Is it a boring resume, or does it tell a story? Next, get in the game.
Stop just scrolling and start joining conversations. Then, take the next step and start your own conversations. And finally, and this one's huge, don't do it alone. Find someone to hold you accountable.
Now, this next idea, it's a total game changer. Forget B2B as business to business, start thinking belly to belly. It's about getting out of the public feed and into those one-on-one direct messages. And your secret weapon to make it feel real and personal, video messages. It's as close as you can get to being in the room with someone.
I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of work. And you're right, it is. But how consistent do you really need to be? Well, in 2021, Larry Long Jr. posted on LinkedIn on 97% of the days. Let that sink in. 97%. That's not just consistency, that's obsession. And that's what it takes.
So after all the strategies and tactics, what does it all boil down to? It's this. In a world full of black boxes, have the courage to be a purple trapezoid. It's a fun way of saying, just be you. Your unique perspective, your weirdness, your personality, that's your superpower. Don't hide it.
So you have the playbook. You have a new way to think about sales. But like we said before, knowing isn't doing. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What's the one purple trapezoid thing you're going to do today? Are you going to try that 3-minute challenge? Send your first video DM. The ball is in your court. Now go make a connection.